Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bain, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting, man. You know how we do it, y'all. There again, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started out with the word of the day. If you hadn't ever played, if you're new to the show, basically what we're going to do, we're going to put a word out there. Every time I say that word, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. Like I always say, this is age appropriate as well. So if you're under the age of 21, man, get energy drink, get some Kool-Aid, sweet tea out the fridge, whatever mom and dad got laying around sugar-wise, play right along, man. Have a good time. That's what it's all about. But every time I say this word during the show today, you're going to take a sip. So last week's word of the day, let's see, championship. Don't know how many times I said that, probably quite a few. If you play along there, again, guaranteed to have a good time, and if not a good time, a buzz at the end of it, man. So this week's word of the day is going to be somewhere right around in here. There again, no idea, but every time I say it, go ahead and take a sip, man. Getting right on into it, NASCAR news. Got a good little bit of stuff to talk about right here. Had some things come out past couple weeks. Little race last week. Got some stuff, get figured out. Little highlights here, man. So started out, man, I just want to say thoughts and prayers go out to Bob Jenkins and his family, man. NASCAR lost an iconic voice in IndyCar as well, man. What a broadcaster and what a career in the history that he saw in both motorsports. So we just want to put that out there. Thoughts and prayers from Rubbin' and Grubbin' and Atlanta Man himself, man, to y'all. Hope everybody a good morning, quick healing, y'all. Y'all get it together, man. I absolutely love that, man. So there again, surprise, surprise, Kyle Larson goes out, wins again at Watkins Glen. I can't say that I saw this one coming. Didn't expect the 5 to show up and compete the way that he did. As we all know, he's going to have some really good runs, man. But like I said, just didn't expect him to run that way. Absolutely dominating performance, dominating year. Needed a little bit more time. Maybe my boy Chase Elliott might have caught up to him, man. But didn't work out that way. And there again, comes home with his 5th point-paying win of the season. Won the All-Star race as well. Guys having a championship year. Got not that many more races to wait and see who we crown. But you can guarantee this guy's going to be in the hunt and right there in the fight all the way down to the very end, man. So good win there again for Kyle Larson. Austin Cindric's going to make his last and final Cup Series start this year. If I had to grade him, I wouldn't give him such a very good grade. He's had some decent runs, but not getting the finishes that I think that he probably should have got, especially coming up next year into the Cup Series. So we just got to wait and see what he's got to do, but he's got to get it together before he hops in that 2-car next year. It's going to be a learning curve, as we all know. Some are longer than others, but I think the kid's got enough talent that when he gets up there, he can perform. But, man, a good showing right here coming into this road course, which he has a knack for, would be absolutely amazing, not only for his confidence coming into the next season as a full-time rookie in the Cup Series, but also Roger Penske for putting him in that vehicle. So we did there again, just got to wait and see how that plays out. But back road courses, man. First time in NASCAR history that we ever raced back-to-back road courses. Very interesting for me. I got to have a conversation with a gentleman by the name of Dan Walker up here. Very, very good friend of ours, NASCAR encyclopedia, if you will. And I asked him if he could ever recall a time NASCAR did 2 back-to-back road courses. Never happened. NASCAR history being made right here last weekend and this weekend coming up. Don't know how I feel about it quite yet. Kind of torn. We'll have to kind of get into that in just a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's taking place in one of my favorite races. And like I said, we'll get into that. But excited to see what this Indy Road Course is going to bring for the Cup Series this week. There again, brand new track. None of these drivers have ever raced on in a Cup Series car. So it's going to be very interesting to watch and see how they plan their strategy, how the race goes down, what guys we have here coming into the last 3 races of the season that go out to hunt those stage points compared to the guys that are going for the win. Some guys are on the outside of the bubble looking in, have to go out and win. So it's just going to be interesting to see how each team plays their cards and the hand coming up right here at Indy Road Course, man. So there again, the biggest piece of news, which absolutely blew my mind still, and we're going to get in some more details of this, but it's Kurt Busch. I mean, what the hell, man? It's Kurt Busch, right? So here we are, swear bucket, throw my dollar in there. Every time I say it, say a cuss word right here live on air. We throw $1 in swear bucket. All these curse words go into the checkered flag for charity pot, which goes to help save one of our own. Just a little charity thing that we do right here at Rubbin' and Grubbin' up here at Coach's Corner, man. So there again, Kurt Busch, man, no announcements yet on his 2022 plans. I just kind of think that there was a team that had a hold of him and could have sealed him up for a couple years, kind of hurt themselves, shot themselves in the foot. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. But there again, at least if he does have a ride planned up, no announcements yet. Got a pretty good feeling on where I think he's going to go. Just got to kind of see how this is going to play out with the next couple of guys and the next couple team takeovers. So we'll have to see a couple more weeks. Guaranteed that's going to be coming out, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, like I say, like, share, follow all our social media stuff, man. We got a Facebook page out there, Instagram. Definitely subscribe, like, share, and follow our YouTube channel, man. Rubbin' and Grubbin', no G's. Like I said, always country around here, man. Check us out. Keeping you up to date on all things NASCAR before we hit Sunday, man. Right here, live every Wednesday at Coach's Corner, man. Thank you guys for so much of the support that you guys do. Not only right here for the show at Rubbin' and Grubbin', but what you also do in the community, man. None of this is possible there again in the stuff we do at Coach's without y'all. So big thanks to y'all on that. But point standings, didn't get to talk about this too much last week. Like I said, not many things changed. Had a couple bye weeks there back to back. So here we are coming right back into it. And we have a new regular point leader on the season. And it's been a while since that position swapped at all. And it's going to be Kyle Larson has finally taken over that top spot from Denny Hamlin. And this is really a big deal because now you have a guy that has the most wins, most stage points collected throughout the season, sitting as the regular season champion, which only helps him add more points coming into the playoffs on a guy that's already dominating. So you can see how this is problematic. We'll have to see if the 11 can rebound here over the next 3 weeks. Gonna probably, I would say, have a decent run here coming up at this Indy Road Course. Definitely probably going to have a good run at Daytona. Michigan, there again, Gibbs. Everybody likes to bring that high horsepower car there and see what they got. So it's possible he could take this over. He might get that first win of the season. Kyle Larson have a DNF somehow, some way, same shape, form. Who knows? But could happen. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So as I said, Kyle Larson 1, Denny Hamlin 2, William Byron sitting 3rd. You got Kyle Busch in 4th place. 5th place is going to be Brad Keselowski, and 6th place is my man Chase Elliott right there on the outside looking into that top 5. But I tell you what, that's the regular season series points, man, and it's looking good. My boy's right where I think he needs to be, if you want my honest opinion. Coming on strong here as of late. Mark my words, next 5 races he'll have at least one more win, guaranteed. But I tell you what, playoff picture, boom, Kyle Larson still remains number 1 as he has been for a while. 19 of Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch. Then you got you've got the 4 of Chase Elliott, 5 of William Byron, and then right there running out the 6 is 48, man. So you've got all 4 Hendrick cars in the top 6 in playoff picture right now. That's going to mean huge things as we go down the road. I've said it once, I wouldn't bet the house on it, but I would not be surprised at all if it is a all 4 Hendrick Final 4 for the championship at Phoenix this year. I'll put it out there. I've said it a couple times. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if you look at the end of the schedule and strength of this team as a whole. I tell you what, there's a lot of races these boys can go out and get it done at. As long as a couple of them can maintain those points and end up getting another win, man, I think all 4 can make it in there very easy right now. So got to keep an eye on that. Bubble watch there again. Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick still battling it out his teammates there. Tyler Reddick had a really good run here this last week. Got a top 10 finish. I tell you what, I think that's going to pay dividends here coming in these last 3 races. He's got his teammate beat out right now. Got a couple guys down below them that really need to go out and get a win to lock themselves in. Matt Benedetto, Chris Buescher, a couple other guys that are right there on the outside looking in. And I tell you what, a win for any of those could definitely shake this picture up even more. And there again, you got guys like Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick who haven't went out and won a race yet this year. So all these wins can definitely do different things and lock in different people in different point scenarios. But we're going to have to see what we got going, man. And 15 points separate the two right now from that bubble and knocking each other in or out. So it's going to be a battle for that final playoff spot. We just got to wait 3 more weeks, and we're going to see who makes it. It comes down to Daytona, which of all places, that's going to be a pretty insane race right there, too. As we saw last year, William Byron sealing the deal to lock himself in, having in a must-win situation. Got a feeling that something very similar could happen again this year. There again, a couple weeks to wait, but we'll have to see. Man, checkered flag for charity. There again, one of my favorite parts of the show, man. Basically what we do here is the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew. Whatever car number wins, we donate that car number into the checkered flag for charity. There again, last week it was Kyle Larson. Man, I tell you what, as y'all know, if you've ever watched the show, 5 is never going to be good enough. We always donate at least the 20. So 20 bucks going in there again for checkered flag for charity. I tell you what, with y'all's help out there and everybody here at Coach's Corner, we've raised $3,412 this year right here on this NASCAR show alone. So that's pretty amazing. As I said earlier, this is not possible without you guys out there in the community, man. You know, we can sit here and talk NASCAR and ask for help for these different charities and foundations that we do, but none of that is possible without the support of you guys. So big shout out, big pat on the back to you guys. Big shout out John and Adele Henderson, all the partners and people up here at Coach's Corner, the staff, the bartenders, everybody. I tell you what, man, they do everything they can to go above and beyond for anything that we do here at Coach's Corner. Big shout out to them as well. There again, checkered flag for charity is going to help save one of our own, a local charity here in Savannah that helps local families out. They've helped up here with Randy Palooza. They've helped with Becca Bash. They've helped with numerous things that John and Adele Henderson have done here at Coach's Corner for many different people in the community. So I tell you what, as I always say, if you're here at Coach's Corner, man, having a couple beers with your buds after work, grabbing some dinner, hanging out with the kids, round up the check to the nearest dollar amount, man, throw that change into checkered flag for charity and to help save one of our own. Tell your bartender you want to donate $5. Tell a manager. Tell anybody, waitress, waiter, anybody you want, man. They'd be more than glad to help you out to make sure that money gets to where it needs to be and goes to the good causes that we help here support at Coach's Corner, man. So there again, thank you guys for your help with checkered flag for charity. So second favorite right here, right after we pause for station identification right here on Coach's Corner Sports Network. Got to take a little sip. Cheers, brother. Whew. Man, those are tasting good tonight, I tell you what. As if it's any surprise, Kyle the Martian Larson, as I like to call him, or AKA Young Money Larson, right here absolutely killing it. 5-point paying wins, all-star race worth $1 million. Absolutely on fire, man. Going out and killing it. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to make the Final Four. And unless this team just absolutely falls to shambles, which I do not see happening at all, not with this much talent and that good of equipment. If for some reason that does happen, I'll shave my head bald right here live on the show. If he doesn't make the Final Four, let's rephrase that, not bald, I'll shave my head down very, very short, all right? But no, I'm not going bald. But I will tell you this, man. The one thing about Kyle Larson that you have to understand is this guy is a competitor. He doesn't show out the way Kyle Busch does, but it's the same competitive nature. Whatever he gets behind the wheel in, you can guarantee he wants to be the best at driving it. And I don't think there's anything that he has driven that he has not won or proven that he is the best at it. He's absolutely murdering dirt, come back into a cup car after a year off almost, and to get the wins that he's doing, being the top dog, come on, man. I don't think there's anything in my mind of doubt that's going to be a championship run right here, championship season right here for Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott, my man, makes it back on the hot list. What a run he had this past weekend there at Watkins Glen, man. Not the way they planned on that day, and probably not the way they wanted that day to go. We'll get a little bit more into that when we come on that recap. But I tell you what, he's back on there. Second place finish, bringing it home right there at Watkins Glen. Finished inside the top 2 in the last 3 races there. Absolutely killing it, man. I tell you what, coming into a road course again this week, we'll have to see if he makes the hot list, which I would say he's going to, but you never know. You got to wait and see. But I tell you what, back on the hot list, back on fire, man. Absolutely love it. Get to talk a little smack. Gaining momentum when it really matters. You got a guy that's already hot in Kyle Larson. I think Chase Elliott's got just as much talent, just as good as race car driver, but he's got to get it together, got to get that momentum rolling. 2 different ways they go about it. Chase is coming on. Mark my words, y'all, coming on right now, man. Just got to get that inspection stuff tightened up. That's all I'm going to say. Tighten it up, man. Tighten it up. But moving right along into who's not. Man, I tell you what, the other 2 Hendrick drivers right now, unfortunately, had to make the, I'm not going to say the who's not, but a pretty cold list, man. You know, William Byron, 1 top 10, last 5 races there. Started the season off with 10 in a row or 9 in a row, 11 in a row, whatever it ended up being. Streak came to an end. Got the 1 win in Miami, but as of late, got to get the ball rolling back. Now, Alex Bowman, on the other hand, I think he's got 3 top 10s in the last 5 races, so not bad. but not doing what I feel like he's capable of doing, especially with 3 wins, coming on this season. His breakout year, if you talk about a year that's going to make or break somebody's career, this is what Alex Bowman really needed. But unfortunately, there again, I want to see him be consistently inside the top 5, 6, 7 cars, racing up to the front, having really good equipment, fast pit stops, just the whole package, man. So I think if they tighten this up and get this together a little bit, there again, as we get into the playoffs, these boys are definitely going to make a strong run. I will say they're going to make, all 4 is going to make the final 8, and I'm going to say that because we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty where some guys are going to be in and out. I tell you what, all 4 Hendrick drivers make the final 8. Penske again, a little disappointing here this past weekend, back on the cold list after coming right back onto the hot list with a 3-4-5 finish at New Hampshire. I tell you what, Brad Keselowski starting from the pole, really expected big things, good things out of the 2 car. Had some crazy odds last week, 33-1. That's why those guys in Vegas live in big houses and we live in small ones, as my buddy JB likes to say all the time. Very smart men up there. But I tell you what, if there was somebody I would have bet on last week on those odds, it would have been him. Didn't quite have the run there, obviously, if you watched the race that he should have. Not only did he spin out leading the race, got into it with his teammate multiple times. I tell you what, man, they're not teammates anymore, so I'm pretty sure there's no love lost between the two. Not that I think the chemistry was ever bad, but in the past few years, tension has been building in that camp, and I think maybe how crazy would it be if you saw some stuff come down to a playoff spot where it was Keselowski or Logano for the last one coming into the final 8, and one of these guys wreck each other to get it, right? Because they're not going to see each other next year other than on the track. They don't have to, travel with each other, be around each other, team meetings, etc., etc. I'm putting these things in the universe. This stuff could happen. I'm telling you right now, it could happen. But, yeah, back on the cold, man. Here's the biggest maker of the cold list for me, and this is probably going to be my biggest rant that I have tonight. And it's going to be Trackhouse, and as I alluded to earlier with Kurt Busch. So, last week, news came out. Ross Chastain got signed over to drive the one there at, Trackhouse Racing that took over operations for, Ganassi. So Daniel Suarez staying in the 99, rightfully so. I think he's had a really good season, really surprising season coming out of Trackhouse Racing, period, for what you would expect for a first-year team operation as far as that goes. But I tell you what, to move in and do what they do, man, great run. I give that a B-, I would say, a C+, B- on the season. Doesn't have a win, but he's had a lot of good runs. Now, this is where I give you an F, all right? An F, epic fail, an EF, epic fail, man, all right? You signed the guy in Ross Chastain, and not taking anything away from Ross Chastain at all. I think the guy's got a great amount of talent. Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be in the Cup Series racing these cars and made it this far, right? So he's got a great amount of talent. The Watermelon Man, great personality, very aggressive driver, goes out, gets it done, puts the car in place, shouldn't, tries things he shouldn't sometimes. Hey, man, not taking nothing away from him. All I'm saying is facts right here, right? You've got a guy in Kurt Busch that has been in this sport for how many years? 30-plus wins in this sport. 2004 Cup Series champion over at Roush. A champion. A guy that has won races. And you let this guy go. Not only that, Monster Energy is a sponsor traveling around with him. He carries it every team he's gone to, man. Every team he's gone to, Monster's been like, yeah, we got you, right? Grown into his own. Won a race this year in Atlanta. Instead of re-signing this man to a couple-year deal, opening a 2-car team like you said you're going to, and which you are doing, building up the momentum and having this guy teach you things as car owners and as a new team about what you can do to make your equipment better and help you get that started in an upward climb with the help of Daniel Suarez. You let this man go out into free agency basically for another team to pick up here that's going to end up picking him up because it's a Cup Series champion that's got 30-plus wins. Now all of a sudden you got a guy in Ross Chastain that hasn't won a Cup Series race, definitely hasn't won a championship, might not even make the championship top 16, the playoffs this year, right? But now here we are with Kurt Busch driving the same equipment that you're pretty much going to have next year for Ganassi Racing other than it being a new car, right? That won a race at Atlanta. That's an F, man. That's an epic fail. Trackhouse right now is cold. I feel like that was probably the worst move they've made all season. Got a lot of respect for Marks and for Pitbull. I think they're going to end up being great owners. But this was your opportunity to really kind of jump your program at a very fast start. It's going to take a little longer and a lot of wrecked equipment coming up here next year. I can guarantee you that. Atlanta men said it right here on Rubbin' and Grubbin', man. So there again, another little sip, station identification right here, Coach's Corner, Sports Network. Cheers. Right into the Watkins Glen recap, man. Here we are. Like I already said earlier, Kyle Larson wins yet another race, man. Absolutely dominating year. I've said that 4 times already in the show. It's just that dominating. It's like if I didn't have to talk about him, I really wouldn't talk about him, just because if you watch NASCAR, you watch the show, you should already know he's winning. But anyways, at the end of the day, goes ahead and does it. Now, the interesting thing to me right here out of this race was the Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson mix up there chasing Truex down towards the later stages of the race, right? So if you were watching the race clearly, you know, Kyle Larson dove in there, got on the curb a little bit right there in one of the turns. Bell pinned him down to the inside, came off the curb, washed up a little bit. Not bad, not enough. I mean, I feel like you had more room to just give him the position, and he wanted it, and he took it in a way, but not that bad. He didn't just dive bomb you or anything crazy, right? So Christopher Bell ends up spinning out, loses a lot of track position, loses probably a great finish coming out of it, and then at the end of the race, or, you know, next day, Kyle Larson tried to reach out to Christopher Bell, says will not talk to him about it, right? Christopher Bell will not talk to Kyle Larson about it. Now, what I find interesting is these guys race against each other not only on dirt sometimes, but in the Cup Series week to week, and won't take his phone call and talk to him, basically. Now, here's the guy that's got 5-point paying wins and an all-star race under his belt in one season right here. And you got Christopher Bell that just locked down that Daytona Roval and got that win there on that road course. Not taking anything away from Christopher, a very young driver. This is a very good opportunity, man, to get in with a guy and just kind of, you know, squash it, bygones be bygones. Let that ride, maybe learn a little bit of something, you know, gain a friendship. Not only, you know, talk dirt, as you guys have in common, talk a little, you know, NASCAR as well. But instead of taking that opportunity, you said no talking. So now my question is there going to be a little bit of retaliation, right? A little bit of retaliation by Christopher Bell on Kyle Larson for a racing incident. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if this happens. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I hope if it does happen, it happens somewhere like a road course, like he did to him. Very similar move, maybe going to make the pass, spin him out. I'd be totally cool with that. Now, if this happens at a high-speed track like Michigan or Daytona or even into the playoffs, I think that's kind of some BS. That's going to be a little childish move. We'll have to see how Christopher Bell handles it, if he retaliates, if he does not. But there again, a little bit of drama never hurts the sport, man. Going to have to tune in this Sunday. Check it out right here, Indy Road Course. You guys going to have to tune in. Check it out, man. Brad K starts from the pole, spins out. As we already talked about, how you do that, I have no idea. Whatever, man. I mean, I had him in the game of skill here at Coaches. I needed those Vegas odds not to be true and this man to go out and lock down this win for me, but he didn't. But I did get to come ahead with Benedetto, so thank you, Matty D, for that. Good run. Hope you got another good run coming up this week right here, man. Matty D, thank you, brother. There again, bad one, man. Bad deal right there. Couple penalties. Another thing to recap, man. Kyle Busch, 18, and the 38, Anthony Alfredo, loose lug nut violation, $10,000. On to the next. Happens all the time, man. I tell you what, Kyle Busch, great run there again. Expect another great run out of him. Got the top 5 coming up here in just a minute. Probably made the list if I had to say. Going to be a pretty basic top 5 list this week. Dark Horse going to be pretty basic as well if you've been watching past few weeks. But, hey, man, like I said, good recap there. Chase Elliott, got to give a big shout out to my boy, as I talked about earlier. Second place finish, man. But what adversity does this man come over? All kinds of stuff. Fails inspection, got to start from the rear, all the way back up through there, go back to the rear, have a pit road problem, all the way back up through there to finish second, man. Had this man started up front, not had one of those issues, come on, you can't even tell me he would have drove away from all these fools, Kyle Larson included, would have had nothing for the man. At the end of the race, clearly, we don't know what Kyle Larson was saving, just hitting his marks. We know Elliott was pushing as hard as he could. At the end of the day, I would have loved to see him battle it out a couple laps. I can guarantee you Elliott was going to get him. Gonna get him, man. Gotta clean it up, man. If you want another championship back-to-back, which hey, man, I said it at the start of the season. Wouldn't surprise me if you did that either. If you make the Final Four, I think you got it in the bag, baby. Back-to-back champion. I can wear a shirt similar to this next year. It says 21 on it. I'm going to love it, man. But got to get those mistakes cleaned up. Got to get back, you know, to that pristine pit stops and pristine unloading, man, with that pre-race stuff, man. Got to get that inspection right. and get through it, man, and get that good starting position. But that's going to wrap it up for that recap. Here we go. Big shout out to my main sponsor, Mr. Parker Eccles himself, man, over there at Arbor Man Tree Service. I tell you what, great dude, does everything for me and us up here at Coach's Corner and Rubbing and Grubbing. As I say all the time, got a tree service here in Savannah. Go ahead, give Parker a call. It doesn't matter, man, if you want to estimate and look at, see hurricane season coming up. Got a little tropical storm thing out here right now brewing up. Going to have to see what it does this week. But, hey, need an estimate and getting some stuff trimmed back, getting some stuff removed, stumps grinded out, man. Whatever it may be, no job too big, too small. Make sure you give Parker a call, man. Telling you right now, best friend ever, great guy, love you, brother, and I'll see you soon, man. We'll get together, have a cold one, man. Love you, dude. Moving right along into the Indy Road Course this week. Kissing the bricks is going to be a little different, as we know this year, man. It's not going to be that classic 1994 Brickyard at Indy. Another big rant and rave I should have done in the Who's Not, but I'm going to do it now, is NASCAR. NASCAR should have been in the Who's Not, man, because I'm telling you, I really think they swung and missed on this. You know, here we are with 7 road courses this year. You took away one of the most prestigious races ever added on to the NASCAR schedule. I mean, and it's like hollow ground. I mean, you know, these cars have been racing there forever with the Indy open wheel stuff, man. And they finally let NASCAR in 1994, right? And then now here we are in 2021, and we're not even going there on the hollow ground racetrack to race. We're going to run a road course after we've already run 6. NASCAR, you swung, you missed big time. You struck out on 1 strike. I don't know how you do that, but you struck out on 1 strike. You had one thing to get right, and you got it wrong, man. Should have kept Indy. At the end of the day, I've ranted on for I don't know how many months and years about this. Now that we have the Rovals, 2 real road courses, true road courses, not Rovals, road courses. Watkins Glen, Sonoma, Circuits of the Americas as we saw, Road America as we saw, real road courses. 2 a year. I don't care if it's the same 2 every year. I don't care if we run 2 and then the next 2 years we run 2 more for 2 years. I don't care if we swap every other year. I don't care what we do. 2 real road courses, both Rovals. That's it. 4 non-oval, non-short track, non-oval shape races a year. 4. That's it. Max. That's just my opinion. Atlanta men said it right here. First again, 4 is my opinion. I'd love for you guys to comment, share your feelings on that, share your feelings on how you feel this week, coming, not racing the actual Indy track, but racing this road course, and back-to-back road courses at that. So that's just another thing. I think NASCAR swung and missed. Hopefully it's a great race. Just got to watch and see. Going to have to see what kind of excitement it brings, man.
Who won that 94 race?
The man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT himself, Jeff Gordon, man, you crazy? Showed him up, man. Showed him up, kissed the bricks. First one to kiss the bricks, baby. I mean, you know what I mean? Get the bricks in. How many had he won? A lot. The man has won there quite a few times, man. I'm telling you, some things just aren't meant to be broken. But I don't like to see it this way. I like to see it just not happen. But I tell you what, man, big shout out to Jeff Gordon as well. Hey, love you, brother. Happy late birthday, by the way, man. But there again, man, like I said, I'm really going to miss the old track. I look forward to that every year. It's so fast. It's so flat. It requires so much not only out of the drivers, out of the engineers, and out of the teams. And it is such historic race, man. Got to get it back on the schedule, NASCAR. Put it back next year. Take this one away or keep this one. I don't really care what you do. Just make sure we race the Brickyard 400 next year on the true Indy course. That's all I'm asking. That's it. 2.4 mile layout right here. It's going to be an 82 lap event. 20, 20, and then 42, I think, to the end is how it goes. Something along in those lines, man. Tell you what, it's going to be very interesting getting right into that top 5 as if it's any kind of surprise right here. Now, I do got a little bit of surprise. Might change a little something. But at the end of the day, you know who we got to go number 1 with, man. Gotta go number 1 with Chase Elliott. And I'm going to tell everybody why right here. Kyle Larson went out and won. A lot of folks saying I'm going to leave with my heart on this. The man went through the whole field a couple times to come back to finish second. I don't foresee them failing inspection again. I foresee him getting a really good starting position. And we all seen what can happen when this man gets on a road course, period. It learns as he goes either way. 9 goes first for me. Number 2, coming in last week's winner, 5 of Kyle Larson. As if that's any surprise, hottest guy in the sport, most wins, dominating the sport, comes in 2 on the list. 3 for me, guy that had a really good run going, Another guy that's driven himself in to be a road course ace here, Martin Truex Jr. I think that it's about time for him to start showing up and showing out, see what kind of equipment they really got headed into these playoffs. Expect him in the next 4 to 5 weeks there again to get another win locked in himself. Just going to have to see how that plays out. But for this week, 3 on my list, Martin Truex Jr. 4 for me, the Candy Man, Mr. Brenner, Sean Erb's favorite driver right here, Kyle Busch, and notice I almost called him Brent again, which he loves when I do that. But the Candy Man himself, nothing sweeter, comes in number 4. I think he had a really good run, 4th place finish there, or 5th place finish here at Watkins Glen last week. Guys got a championship contender. You got to put him on the list, man, to make at least the last 8, I would say. As long as he can keep running the way he's been running, consistency, putting himself up front, not necessarily contending, battling for those wins, but riding right there, top 5, top 7, going to put himself in point-wise to be right there at the end, unless we just have a lot of multiple winners in these playoffs. Things changing week to week, but look out for Kyle Busch to be 4 this week. 5, Denny Hamlin. Came in 5th here at Watkins Glen, had a really good run on the road course. I think that, kind of woke him up here, maybe a little fire under him to go out and maybe try to get a win here at this road course this week. Look for him 5. Dark horse, any surprise, Ross Chastain, I just talked about him. I definitely would have taken Kurt Busch over Chastain to drive the car next year, but Chastain's had a little thing here at road courses going this year. A couple really good runs, more good runs than bad runs. So I took him, and I also put Tyler Reddick in there. Top 10 run at Watkins Glen, trying to gain a little bit of lead on his teammate Austin Dillon for that 16th playoff spot. Look out for the points to be gained, maybe a stage win, stage something, do something a little different right here out of either the 8 or the 3 this week right here at Indy Road Course, man. Also want to give a big shout out to my main man, Michael Carter over there, man. Big win coming in race number 2 of that weekend schedule he had, man. Hey, keep winning like that, brother. As we always said, the amount of talent this kid has is only going to draw eyes. Cannot wait to see him in a truck, Xfinity Series, possibly and hopefully the Cup Series one day if that's what his heart desires. But I'm telling you, anybody out there looking for a guy that can road course race, put this guy in a truck, get him some practice. That's the man right there. But, hey, big congrats, man. Next time you're in town, got to get you back up here on Rubbin' and Grubbin'. We can talk a little bit about what's been going on in your career, talk about a little bit of your feelings about what's been going on the NASCAR circuit, and plans for the future, man. We got to talk about that, brother. But congrats on that win, man. So, brings it on to the other part of the show. We all know Rubbin' is racing. On to the grubbing part, which is the tasting. Got a little hidden treat right here, just a little snack I always like to eat up here at Coach's Corner, man. We got some loaded fries. One of my favorite little things right here, jalapenos, chili, cheddar all over them, all over crinkle cuts, man. I'm telling you, really good to eat. Love it. I'm going to tear that up as soon as I get done, man. With that being said, Green, White, Checkered, if you have not tuned in, you can catch PJ Zuko and myself live every Sunday, 9 to 9:30, right there on ESPN 104.3. You can check it out on the ESPN Coastal Facebook page. Man, you can stream it on SoundCloud. You can do all kinds of different stuff, but definitely make sure you check it out. Me and PJ catch you up. Anything that I haven't got you right on Wednesday, that happens from Wednesday to Sunday, you can guarantee me and PJ Zuko himself going to talk about it. Coming to you live every Sunday morning, Green, White, Checkered, ESPN 104.3, man. Thank you, PJ, as well, brother. But that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin' right here live, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Coach's Corner Sports Network. Make sure you guys stay tuned, man. You got the Coach Carl DeMasi coming up, doing that weekly show he always does. I tell you what, if you want any kind of sport news, any kind of local stuff, keep you up to date in the what's hot, what's not, who's not locally, Coach Carl's going to do it for you, man. Also, Saturday mornings, always that big Carl DeMasi Sports Report. I tell you what, I love watching that. When I get a chance, I have to watch it Saturday night, Sunday morning, but I tell you what, I absolutely love watching that as well, man. Such a great show. Pretty sure they're still doing Who's on First Base right there with Kyle Lawson as well, keeping you up to date on everything local baseball, from the bigs to the minors. Going to keep you up to date with the Braves. Anything you need to know news-wise with baseball, two baseball gurus going to give it to you. Big shout out to 19th hole. I don't know where them boys have been. We got to get them boys back on the bandwagon, man. Getting them to do a little weekend recap on Sunday morning or something. We got to get to them, man. We got to get hooked up with them. I'm gonna have a conversation with them. get that in the works, man. Hot Grits, Travis and Spencer out there, man. Thank you guys as well. There again, I'll be calling you Travis here this week. We got to start getting on these prop bets coming to these playoffs, man. Get some things rolling every now and then for that NASCAR section of the show, man. I know you guys don't watch it, don't really know much about it. I think it would be absolutely hilarious and amazing. Got to make that happen, brother. And the biggest shout out and thanks to all you guys tuning in and viewing. Like I said, like, share, follow all our social media. Check us out on YouTube. Lawrence does a great job. LB does a great job, man, putting this together for our YouTube show. A lot of things added in, thrown in, a lot of little funnier moments in there, man. But make sure you check us out. Like, share, follow right there on YouTube. Posted pretty much every Sunday morning, Saturday night. You can catch that as well. Long as Lawrence hadn't been doing events up here. Sometimes he runs a little behind, which I have a few fans of the show that call and definitely let us know. But thank you guys for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Go ahead and go on out there and get vaccinated, man. Get these numbers down. They've been spiking, testing again. That's why they're spiking up probably. But I tell you what, get vaccinated. Stay safe. Do what you need to do, man. God bless. See y'all next week. Love y'all, man. All right.